Game on! Welcome to another episode of Two Ales and Hockey Tales with Wally. And today I'm so excited to have on a 35-year-old from Haderslev, Denmark. He is a legend of Denmark. Can't believe I'm saying that to his face. And Sunderjuski, laced up for 14 seasons with the Baby Blues of Voyance, and also for a hot minute dabbled in my old honey hole, the Zweite Bundesliga of Deutschland with beautiful Whitewater, Weisswasser, and the Herning Blue Foxes who love throwing Twix, and a season with the Whitehawks of Friedrichshafen. But his time with Sunderjuski was legendary stuff. He could fill a starting lineup with his own gold buckets, winning the Danish Championship 5 times and the Danish Cup 3 times, and for fun, laced up in the Champions Hockey League. And because winning is super fun, took down the Continental Cup as well, and got the call to Team Denmark for 6 straight seasons. Welcome on, Steffen Frank.
Thank you, Mr. Walton.
How are you, sir? Is that
perfect, eh?
Oh, you switched to number 60, eh? Are those all the gold helmets beside it?
Yeah.
Oh, those are beautiful, eh?
They hide away a little bit. Now we're living in the basement.
Gold helmets are cool though, aren't they? I got mine right behind me. See? It's right beside my red hat. That was from winning under 13 All Ontario Championships with Colby last season.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I'm coaching under 13 boys, and Colby and the fellas went 16-0 in the playoffs to take home the All Ontario. So now I got a gold helmet and a red hat.
And the red hat is most important, eh?
It really was. Yeah. Winning with your son and all his buddies in their hometown. And now it's like, well, you guys were winning in your hometown. It's like winning in your hometown is a different thing than when I fly to Denmark and I win in Denmark and then I get on a plane and never see you guys again.
Yeah. But now it's you.
That's why you started a podcast, so you can see everybody. Seriously though, this is fun. I haven't seen you since 2014.
Was it 14? 14-15 we played, right?
13-14. I was a Cardiff Devil 14-15, and also won there too. I know you guys won too, which pissed me off.
Yeah, sorry.
That's okay. Yeah, they must have made the right decision. I guess Bietigheim won the year after they told me to kindly leave too. So I guess maybe I am the problem.
Maybe you are, but you get your golden helmet anyway, so it's perfect.
That's right. Yeah, I have it forever. It's gold helmets are handy to have around though. It's like your son can use it as a bike helmet around town. You can wear it, Halloween, whatever.
You can put it on when your girl coming home with a boyfriend and you show him I have the bucket, eh?
Well, the buckets are cool. I mean, every time I put it on, I feel safe and I feel cool.
Seriously. Maybe I'll start wearing them then.
So you won 5 of them. So like our night, well, I got a little tangled up, ended up with the young stockfish boy, Casper, somewhere in Haderslev. We need to get home. But what went on in the other times when I wasn't around, you guys were winning gold helmets, because it sure is a fun night when the team hits the town in gold helmets.
Yeah, it does. But it's what's going on. Drinking. You haven't been drinking for what, seriously? 2 months, kind of?
Right.
Of course, we drink through seasons. Once in a while, we drink through seasons.
The odd time in the regular season, but then once it gets serious, it's go time until it's over.
Exactly. And then you're allowed to drink also in the city after your body haven't been used to drinking and eating and sleeping well for I don't know how many months, eh? It's going down.
Those best of 7 series, and then you go to game 7 of the finals. By the end of it, you can be pretty tired. And I saw Esky, I just had him on, sent me some photos from when we won. And I tell you, I look really pale and tired at the end of that game. And I looked like I had used all my energy. But somehow, Frankie, I didn't get home till 7 a.m.
Because we put something in our beers in Denmark. That's the problem.
Well, something happened.
Yeah.
I don't know.
City won't close before 6 a.m. anyways.
Right.
PM.
And then the next day you got to go meet the mayor. You got to put your chin strap on.
That's why when you're winning 100%, Now I tried all the days you can kind of win, but the Sundays are the best.
Is that right? Yeah.
Yeah, because you're winning Sunday, obviously you're drinking. And obviously when you're coming home, the bars and everything is open. Of course, you're drinking Monday when you wake up. You're drinking Tuesday because you're going to the mayor and stuff like that. You have your team party maybe Tuesday or Wednesday. And then obviously Thursday, Friday, Saturday, the city's open again for the bars.
And winning is fun.
It is fun.
And I remember the night before Game 7. I was being a little bitch. I had been slashed in the finger and my finger was throbbing. Like, you know, when you get slashed and the end of your finger is just throbbing, and like I couldn't sleep, and I'm laying in bed holding my finger, just thinking, we have to win tomorrow. Like, we have to.
Because of this finger.
This fucking finger. It hurts so much and I can't sleep.
Yeah.
But I don't think I felt it after we won.
I don't think so either.
No, and that was cool for me was that was the first time I won with Colby alive, and having him in the team photo with all the gold helmets.
Yeah,
that's hockey.
Yeah, can you imagine him now playing hockey, and when he's obviously he understands now, but when he gets our age,
I know.
Picture, hopefully he will get one of them too, eh?
Hey, it'd be cool. And he can play, and I got a couple players on my team, and that's why. Well, we're having a season. We've won 3 tournaments. We won 3 trophies. And the other 2 tournaments we were in, we finished second. So we're right there with all the big boys, you know?
Yeah, that's
bring the noise. It's playoff time.
Exactly.
It's weird though, eh, Frankie? You're freshly retired just the last couple of years, and I was out of the game for years. And now this coach and kids thing has got me right back into it. Playoffs are started now, so I'm at the start of growing a playoff beard again. And it's been years since I've been growing playoff beards. Last year I grew one, and when we won the Red Hats, I had a huge, beautiful beard.
It's perfect, eh?
It's just gray now.
Yeah, and you're allowed to going around the city with your beard, and people are like, "What's going on?" And you're just like, "Oh, yeah, it's just playoff time,
under 13, baby." Yeah, I actually had my under 13 boys shave my head at the start of the year too, and they didn't do a good job. And I told them I'd go to work like that, so I did. You know, you got to buy in. You know?
Yeah, 100%. You have to show it.
Yeah, and thought I looked great, but you know what? The boys bought in too. They cut each other's hair too, and they went to school like that.
And they won?
We won the tournament, yeah.
There you go. We did the same with the poker tournament here. We were struggling, and we were like, we have to do something. And we cut our hairs, at least half of the team, half of the other.
Yeah, like, no, some of them, yeah, you got to be pretty, right? They're the pretty boys.
And you see, we won, so half the team are shaved and
look great.
Yeah, it's perfect, but we got the poker.
Yeah. So you did, when did you hang them up? Just a couple seasons ago?
Yeah, well, this is the second season now. So March 23.
And how did you come to that decision? Because you were still doing pretty darn good.
Last season I was mentally tired. I think I had problems. I got a herniate when in 17. I got a new one in 19.
A hernia?
Yeah.
I had one of those. They suck.
Yeah. So like I worked through it, like, but doing that every day before practice, before game, morning skates, game days, at least 30 minutes warm-ups is just tiring you out. And
are you saying you had a herniated disc in your back, not a hernia?
Yeah, herniated disc.
That back pain is exhausting.
Yeah, and when I'm a tall guy, it's not fun.
Yeah, I can understand. Back pain sucks.
So that was a part of it, and yeah, I just got older, and we bought a house, and
you grew up.
Yeah,
you're in the real world now. What's your big boy job?
I got the big boy's job now. I'm making money now.
Hey, attaboy. We all got to do it sometime.
Yeah, now I don't have to go around every Sunday morning after practice, pick up bottles and go put them in and get a krona or two.
So what is the job?
I just changed my job now, actually. It's a sales job. I started out when I retired. I got a job driving around selling certain stuff for cleaning. First job, I just needed to have something, but I was happy with it. And now I just started a new job here January 1st, where I'm having my area on the west coast. It's pretty popular in Denmark, where I'm renting out summer houses.
Oh, cool.
So I have to at least, like make deals so we can rent them out for people.
Yeah.
So people that own the houses, I'm calling them, asking if they want to rent out through us, and yeah, blah blah blah.
I know the same business models going on over here, where I know a guy that is doing that in one of the tourist towns.
Yeah.
Brings back memories talking to you guys though, like that. A hockey season really isn't that long. I've been noticing it with my under 13 boys. Like we're already in playoffs, and I feel like I was just picking the team not long ago, and we were just going to our first tournament, and now all of a sudden we're coming to the end, and it's like the memories I have from the year in Denmark, like when you've never been to Denmark before and the different towns you get to see, the different people you meet. I was only there for like 8 months.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It is crazy.
But when you hit November, you're like, holy fuck, the season is long already.
Right. Well, or you get to that part there between Christmas and like the actual playoffs starting.
Yeah.
You're like, all right, let's just get to this.
Yeah. Still 20 games left.
But I guess one thing that was neat for me, because I do have my Team Denmark shirt today.
Yeah, I saw that right away.
Yeah. Thomas Spelling gave it to me that year when we played in Sunderjyski, and he made Team Denmark for the first time, the men's team. But you also did that year, and you were my line mate at that point. The two guys that I played with that year both made Team Denmark. That's cool.
I actually told my girlfriend today, because she was like, who is we going to talk to? I said, probably him, and the other line mate was my two best line mates.
Yeah, we were a hell of a line, man.
They made me get probably my best point season that year.
That was your best point season. I did look. I was curious. But yeah, they had us together until after Christmas sometime, and then they switched her around once they brought in Aslan and stuff, and then he took my spot, and then I went with Spelling and Walters, and then I think you were with Lund, right?
Yeah, I can. That's the problem. You played so many seasons, you can't remember.
Yeah, I know. I was only there 1 year, so it's all fresh for me.
Yeah. Like, who was it? That was you, Quirk.
Me, you, and Quirk were the first year, and then I think Aslan went with Quirk, and then I was with Spelling and Walters.
Yeah, and who was Lykkeskov?
Yes.
He was with Quirk and Aslan.
That guy's a gamer, eh?
Yeah.
So you won as like a young guy, eh? Like way back in 08, 09.
Yeah.
That's a long time ago, eh?
Oh, so long time ago. But almost that's the one you probably remember the most.
The first time.
I didn't play, so I wasn't tired like you talked about before. I was just on the bench.
You're ready to go when that game's over.
I was heating up the woods and having candy ready for the boys on the bench.
It is different though in Denmark, eh? When you got to try and break into pro when you're one of the good young guys, and you're like, how old would you have been when you started pro?
I would start practicing with the Sunirske around 16, 17 years old, and I got a contract when I was 17.
That must be interesting, right? Like you've been playing the minor hockey, and then all of a sudden you're getting put into practice with like pro guys.
Yeah,
right? That's a big jump.
Then I was also stuck there for 2 years, where like seriously for 2 seasons, I think I played maybe maximum 40 to 60 minutes those 2 years.
Yeah.
Like you were going every game, every practice, but ice time was only if we were leading with 3+ goals. Right. You can get the last minute.
Yeah.
Maybe 1.5. And you would change after 30 and the coach screaming, stay on. And you were exhausted, but you had to show up for that 1.5 minute.
Man. But so I guess you'd probably you remember your first championship, but getting the call to Team Denmark for the first time must have been pretty neat, eh?
Yeah, that was exciting too, 100%.
Just so you know, you scored 3 goals in 6 games that year for them.
Yeah, I was hot. We played Norway a lot of times.
When you're hot, you're hot though, eh?
When you're hot, you're hot.
We were hot that year though.
Yeah, we were really hot that year. That was unbelievable year.
I still find
that was first year with Seaman, right?
Yeah, that's right.
We just came out of the season before where we had Mario.
And you just won the championship.
Yeah, we won, but it was a tough year for coaching and players, and like everything was just messy.
And you still won.
But you got a new coach in. You got Seaman in. He was the assistant before, and he did totally opposite what the old coach did.
Well, I really enjoyed playing for Dan. And my backstory to it was I had been in Germany for 6 years. I thought I had done well for the 6 years, other than getting hurt the 1 year. I thought I'd put up numbers. I'd won a championship. I was always up in top scorers. And then I didn't get a contract in Germany after our team underachieved. And then I go home for the summer. And I had like nothing. Nothing was going. Nobody was calling. And I was tiling a bathroom just to, stay busy, make some cash, because I don't know what's going to happen when I'm going to get a call. And I was tiling someone's bathroom for them. And then Dan Seaman called me and told me who he was and who he was coaching. And like, I had never thought of going to Denmark. I didn't know what Sunderjyski was. And then all of a sudden, we had a great conversation. And all of a sudden, I'm going to Denmark,
Yeah.
It's weird how it works in hockey.
Yeah, it is. And sometimes you just go fast and you just like going somewhere where you don't know anything about it. And it just became something of your life anyways.
Yeah. And it's neat now that I can talk with you guys, and it's been 11 years, and and then all of a sudden we reconnect and it's like nothing's changed.
No, that's the good thing about hockey. Nothing changes.
Nothing changes, and the hockey guys are hockey guys no matter what country you go to.
100%.
But you and Lundy grew up together, right? And I always say, I said this to Eski because he's from there too, is when I won, it was having the best domestic players, like the best guys from that country. And when you and Lund are growing up together around there, and you guys are both over 6 foot tall, strong, good players, and it's like, so then you get Eski, who's a young punk, and then you get Forster and all the Danish guys. It's like, well, that's how you win, is having good Danish dudes. It's like the imports cancel each other out usually.
Yeah, like winning teams, when you see through the years, especially in Denmark, teams that are winning is teams that have a third and fourth line where you have the Danish guys that can make a difference. Because in the end, when you hit the semifinals, maybe finals, depends on the years you play, but imports are going out even each team.
Usually.
Because both teams are filled up with the imports and they're kind of same level. And
And then you add guys like Thomas Spelling as a Danish guy. That's
a big game changer.
He's a game changer, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
and, I remember
he's still scared, eh? Can you believe he's scared to talk to me? Like now I have someone in Denmark that every time he's on TV or they're at the game, they send me pictures of his butt and I post them and I say, "Call me maybe," and I play the song. Like he gave me 2 of his Team Denmark shirts. I figured he knew he was going to get more of them, so he gave me his 2 Team Denmark shirts, and I've been wearing them with pride for now 11 years. And they haven't got old yet.
It's a good stuff.
It is
recycling.
Right. It doesn't even say Denmark. It says Danmark. Who knew?
Yeah, we are Denmark.
But I did see you played with the first guy that was my teammate to play for Team Denmark that I knew of. I won the championship in Bietigheim, and the other import was what they called him Danish Dynamite, Kasper Dine.
Mm-hmm.
And we put him out of the semifinals that year.
Good.
Yeah. But you played with Kasper and Herning, eh?
Yeah, I came to Herning, and then in the summer, I came to Herning November, December, I think.
Because you had been in Germany.
I was in Germany. And then too many imports. GM got fired. The owner took it as a manager, play game on computer. So just bring in imports and having fun. And guys should sit out every weekend. And when I was mid-20s and national team and everything, it wouldn't be working out for me. So I went home. Herning was struggling. My old coach was the coach there. So we had a talk, and I could come home to Herning and knew the coach. I knew some of the players from the national team. And then Kasper, he was I think as I understood it, he was helping Herning in the summertime for finding players like GM kind of stuff.
I think he was like the GM for a bit.
Yeah, but for free, kind of.
Because he's a great guy.
Yeah, so he did it because he loved the team and he was from there and everything. But then I think certainly somehow he was like practicing with us once in a while. And okay, now he's getting a contract, but he's officially on the team like in end of December. So, okay. And when I came in, end of November, start December, we were like 7th or something. And we made it just barely at top 4 when the regular season stopped, and we came to the finals. And we were actually up 2-1 in the series, going back home, and lost overtime 2-2 series, and lost in Esbjerg 3-2. And then they came to us and beat us in the overtime again. But yeah, we ended up getting a really good team that year. But again, no offense against the imports, but it was the Danes. Like, we got brought in Simon Nelson as the goalie. Then I came 2 weeks later. Casper came in. Like, you just
that changes a team. That changes a team.
Yeah, you didn't have to go out and fight imports. You got your Danish guys, and yeah.
Oh, it's true. You're not hurting my feelings saying having the good Danish players win. I thought Corky and I had a hell of a year that year, but when it comes to playoffs, it's like, well, we could put 2 lines out there of high-end guys, but then our third line in the playoffs, I think, was you, Lund, and Forster. And it's like, well, they can play against anybody, anytime.
Yeah.
And that's how you win. And we did, you know?
We did. That's the most important.
It really is.
It is.
It was exhausting stuff, though. But so you also, because I think it's neat, not that I was there anymore, but you guys won the Continental Cup. We blew it that year, by the way. We hosted the tournament in Voyance, and we lost I thought we tied a game, but we didn't.
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't do well. But
No,
then you guys ended up winning the whole deal. And what's neat is after I left you guys, I went to the Cardiff Devils, and they just won the Continental Cup this year. So, you know, and then it's like, and then I always wanted to be in a video game, and then we win it. You guys go to the Champions League and then are in video games. Then the Cardiff Devils, I retire after we win, and then they are in the Champions League, and then they're in video games, and then I could play with the 2 teams in video games. And I'm like, but I never got to be in a game. What a joke.
That's perfect.
But I have played with you in NHL like 20 something, 23, 22. Yeah, you can play Sunderjyski against the Cardiff Devils. And I'm like, so my last 2 teams are in the NHL game, and they're in the Champions League. Oh, that's cool. Yeah. Because I was playing with my son. I'm like, look at this. This is all my teammates.
They're still here.
Yeah. Look at Frankie, still not back checking.
Overall 48.
But you weren't number 60 when I played with you. Why'd you switch? Weren't you number 11?
I was 10.
10. That's 10. Why. Because I was number 10. I couldn't be 10 or 18 because of you and Hansen.
Yeah, and you came and you figured out why you couldn't be 10 when you met me.
Yeah.
There was no chance.
No, hometown boy, legend. Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, I changed because when I left to Germany, I changed my number to my late youth number 21. And then when I left there, when I went to Herning, 10 was taken. 21 I played with in Germany was also taken in Herning, and I was like, what am I going to do then? And then I played with a Herning guy that came to Sønderjysk where we won a championship, and he was number 60. So I was like, now I'm going to his hometown. Yeah. I'll just take 60.
And then who's that?
Mads Christensen, the big legend in the DEL.
Right. And that's how I ended up with 18 as like my number. Like, I think of 18 as my number, but I always wore 10. And then when I couldn't get 10, I'd take 18 because they look similar. And then I had my best years of hockey wearing 18, you know? And it's like,
well, were you 18 with us?
No, I was 19 because of Koenig.
Yeah. 19.
Yeah, 19. That was my only year as 19. I couldn't have 10 or 18. So what are you going to do?
But maybe you should have kept that a little longer. Then you got maybe another or 2 more goalie helmets.
Well, I don't know, because they asked me to kindly leave after, so I didn't really want to be 19 anymore.
You don't want to keep me? I'm not 19 anymore.
No. So, no, I tried to be 10 in Cardiff, but then they were retiring that jersey that year. And then I think they had already retired 19. So I'm like, okay, I'm back to 18 again.
Should have been what you should have started, like every time you sign a contract, before you sign it, is 10 or 19 free.
Right. Well, I was just trying to get a deal, man.
Please.
Beggars can't be choosers.
True that.
I do find it interesting though, for anybody listening, is like, I found once you have kids in Europe and you're not in the highest leagues, you're not in the DL or the Swedish league or whatever, and you're in Denmark or you're in the second league in Germany or you're in the UK, when you have to fly over a whole family and they have to pay for a whole family to come instead of just a guy, and then bring in a guy and give him a roommate, it costs the team way more money. So you got to really be doing it, or else teams aren't interested.
No.
Exactly. I started noticing it when, like, I was having the same years I always had, but then there weren't many calls coming in.
No.
That guy's bringing that much baggage.
Wife, 2 kids, 4 dogs, 2 cats.
Yeah. That'd be a pretty big apartment. How are we gonna pick them up from the airport? Like, why don't we just get 2 single guys fresh out of college and we'll just see how they are?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, it makes sense though, when you look back on it, business wise. But that's what I appreciate about Cardiff bringing me in after Denmark, because I didn't know what was going on. I thought I'd had a good year and I thought I would be getting offers, and then nothing was happening. And then it took a team that wanted to bring in a guy with a whole thing, you know? Yeah.
But why? Sorry.
Oh God, no choking on the podcast. Holy moly, down the wrong tube.
I just made it. No, but what was wrong? Like, you didn't want to sign, or was it negotiating, like, money wise, or?
No, there was
because Quirk stayed, right? Or did he leave and came back the year after?
I didn't know. Quirk, they kept Quirk. I went in for the exit meeting 2 days after winning, so we win it. Had a great time. I was just loving life those couple days, and then I went in for my exit meeting with Dan and Stocky, and they basically said, "Thanks for coming. But we're not going to offer you anything. Like, nothing. Like, not even like half the money. Like, you're good luck." And then Dan told me that he would give me a good reference wherever I wanted to go, and it was a pleasure coaching me or whatever. And then I was like, okay, cool. I'm like, so I just moved to Denmark for the year, finished second league in scoring, won the championship, and then this is my exit meeting. And then I remember walking out to my car, and like, Colby's little, and then we ended up having another one, and I was like, so I'm a free agent again. I'm like, so what do I do now? Am I still a hockey player? Yeah.
Am I a plumber or a hockey player again?
Yeah, you really don't know.
Yeah. That's a good thing about hockey too.
Yeah. You never know what's gonna happen.
No, you never know.
So you knew it was over then. So had you been? I know there was guys in Denmark that, like, while they're in school, they'd like work during the day and then we'd practice at night. Did you do any of that stuff, or like?
I did my first couple of years, and then I think, was it in 2011 season? Yeah, 3 years after I kind of made it on the team, I got.
Then you were just playing hockey.
Yeah, then I was just playing hockey until my retirement.
Yeah. It's pretty weird, when you hang up the skates and you know it's over, and you're like, so what do I do now?
Yeah. It was crazy, but kind of I was in that process, and I was like, I had a good conversation with Klaus, the CEO, about going to some job interviews through the season to feel, when I went to a job interview, I never tried that before.
No.
Our job interview was like, you see, like, it was our stats, or did this guy win or not? Call your agent, and the agents would call the teams, like, this guy have won this and this, and he's leading points, whatever. Can you use him?
Yeah.
That was job interview for us. So I needed to go to feel.
Well, a job interview was a coach calling you and talking hockey with you and seeing what your thoughts were on hockey and how to win. And it was like me and Dan's first talk, and like, exactly. Now we still have the same talks on the podcast when he comes on, but the real world interviews, whole different ball game. Oh.
And you have to go through test and IQ and logic and sit with the HR, whatever. Like, it was crazy, but I kind of felt through those
process.
process and months. Like, okay, maybe like I'm sick of going to FedEx on a Tuesday night and coming home free in the morning and go to practice again next day. And like, I just start feeling I need to have my weekends. And yeah, so I was lucky I took the decision on my own. Like, it wasn't the injury. Like, I could maybe play a year more or two, and I should, because they won the gold helmet last year. So I'm pissed I didn't play. but yeah, it was fine. It was the right time.
Right.
And I'm happy
and
for
it's
it
nice
now.
that you knew, because like for me, it was an injury. My knee went and then it was over, and it was like November of that year. And then I did have months to try to mentally prepare for it, but I was in the UK. I wasn't back in the real world, but I remember getting on the plane going back, going like, what am I getting into here?
Yeah.
Like, so it's all over and I haven't worked big boy job yet at all.
Yeah.
And I remember going to my first interview out of the game, and man, I sucked.
Yeah. Nervous and
nervous, just not like too nervous, you know?
Yeah. You rather play a game 7 sitting the home the night before with your finger and being pissed.
I know, at least know what to do that.
Yeah, exactly.
But I find the longer I've been out of the game, the more I've realized from that first interview and how brutal I was. Like, you are allowed as hockey players to relate what you've done to the real world, because it does translate, and the work ethic you have to have, the teamwork you have to understand, knowing your place in an organization and where you stand and who's your boss, who's, helping out, and you should be nice to them because they're helping out. It teaches you a lot about what to do in the real world that some people
100%.
don't get.
100%. That's why, especially in Denmark, the job interviews I went to, like, some of them I have to say no because I got offered another one I rather wanted.
Right.
Like, because they just want pro athletes.
Well, and if I were like hiring someone, I have a bit of a strange people. It wouldn't be many pro athletes I could hire, but I would want to, because I know the teammates they are and the work ethic they had, or else they wouldn't have got there.
Yeah, exactly.
Because hockey weeds out the bad dudes pretty quick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because they call teammates and they're like, what's he like? Like, well.
Dinner wasn't really him, and water, no.
Hey, so you called me by your Danish nickname for me when I came on, and I forgot about that one. I've been Kugelblitz in Germany, which meant round lightning. What was Steiner? You called me Steiner. I remember that now.
Yeah.
What's that mean?
Look at the walls behind you.
What?
Stones. Like, your body, you were just like
a stone.
A stone. Like, nobody could move you.
Right. Okay, that makes sense. I'll take that.
Yeah. Good. Take it.
Okay.
Take it. I don't know how, because out of, like, even with Quirk, like, he got nicknamed Baune. That's a comedian guy in Denmark, like, crazy guy, and we called him Baune. And like, it's just Denmark nicknames is just weird nicknames.
Yeah, I never knew why you guys were calling me Steiner, but I just kind of went with it. But I had a few of those nicknames around. Germany, they had a couple different ones for me. But I remember way back when I was in the coast my rookie year, they called me Nugget because I was so little.
That's a good one too.
Is it though? I always felt big.
Yeah. Good you came to Sønderjysk and got the Steiner.
But Quirky was a hell of a player, eh? Like, I played against him in the second league in Germany, and I played, I think, 1 year against him there. And then when Dan Seaman calls me and talks about going to Sønderjysk, and he's like, I'm thinking about you coming and playing wing with Corey Quirk. And I was like, the dude I played against in Germany? I'm like, I've seen him play. I want to play with him. Yeah. I'll come.
Yeah. For free.
Yeah. What do you want me to do? Yeah, I'm coming. Because he was good.
Jesus, he was good.
Yeah. Like, for a little dude, that little bugger would take her net as hard as anybody.
Yeah. It was crazy. It was crazy.
And then he went from Juniorski to have quite the DL career then in Bremerhaven.
Yeah, and I never really figured out if he got his passport or
No,
something.
he never did. He was an
He
import.
never did, so he was seriously just there for so many seasons.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he did well. He did well too. So he 100% he deserved. He was like really good hockey player.
Yeah, no kidding. He could play up and down your lineup like when you're in the DL there. Like he could be a third liner the way he grinded and mucked.
Exactly.
But he's also a scorer.
Yeah.
So you weren't in Germany long, but you did go to beautiful Whitewater.
Yeah, what a city.
There's a lot of different places in the second league of Germany, and it is interesting with their history in Germany. Like there's like what was the east side of, the wall and the west side, and like they are a bit different how they look and all that. But Whitewater or Weisswasser, the Lausitzer Fuchse, they had passionate fans. They were into it, and like they love hockey there.
Yeah, 100%. And one of the games, I played some games there, but one game we were down, I don't know, when we went into the third period, down 5-6 goals or whatever. We came out, they were just buzzing, like drums and singing for the whole 20. I was just like, this is the place, like they're cheering us up when we that bad.
That's cool.
They were just there. And then when we won a game, I came home in front of my apartment door, 6-pack. And I came to the team the next day. I said, "Who brought me a 6-pack? Probably your neighbor. That's what he does to the guys living up there. Every time we guys winning, he coming with a 6-pack. All right, let's win. Let's start winning.
It takes everybody to win, and when fans will do something like that for you, it makes you care a little bit more. I went to Cardiff there, and the next year, I remember this day. There was two of them. It was Colby's birthday, and I'm coming off the ice, and they dropped fans dropped presents to me as I'm coming off the ice for Colby's birthday. And then we had our daughter, and then there were people dropping us presents for having a daughter when I'm coming off the ice. And I'm like, wow, you guys like care about me?
Yeah. But like they care about you. And in the same time, can you imagine how much it gives us? Because we also just people, like, of course, they're coming and watch us and they can say shit about us on Facebook and stuff like that. But in the end, they really want you to perform when you're playing for that team. But it's also make you perform because you kind of feel, okay, they love me. So I have to go that little extra mile.
And I feel like there are so many fans in Europe, Germany, everywhere, that they don't get what makes hockey players play better. And it's not being mean on Facebook or Twitter or whatever it's called. It is actually telling them you got their back, you care, and you know they're going to do better and that they got your back. And you're like, oh, so you guys are with us. So I'm like, oh, okay.
And it's not only for a week or two, like they showing it for months, and you be like, okay, when you hit playoff, they has been with us for the last 6 months. We have been struggling. They're still with us. Okay, now we have to show up.
Yeah, I totally agree. And when they're mean, they're just mean. And it's like, so you want us to win for you?
Yeah.
Or we'll just win for ourselves, and you guys can.
Because when we win there, I knew it, and you guys were the best. Yeah, I knew what you were writing for a month ago.
So once you retired, was it fun to not have to go through a training camp?
Oh, I always hated training camp, and always hated.
No, you did. I did too.
From May to September was the worst thing in my life. Like, I hated it. Like, seriously. So just calling it, that's it. And seriously, I didn't do it, but I was almost say I became an alcoholic because I opened a beer or two at least every single day.
Wow.
Just so I could open it.
Just because you could.
It was 9 a.m. or midnight before bed. I just needed my beers because nobody told me not to drink a beer or eat a pizza, and I got pizza for lunch and dinner, and
I actually remember like having that conversation with my son, and I was like, so when I was a hockey player, I had coaches that wouldn't let me have a beer. Like I could not have a beer. I couldn't do this. I couldn't do that. And I'm like, it's over for me now. I'm the
Yeah.
coach. I
Yeah.
just tell you guys what to do. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm allowed to have beer now.
Yeah.
It's over for me.
Yeah. It's perfect.
It's those trade. I remember though, it was the last few training camps I had. I was like, man, I'm having a hard time getting up for this.
Yeah. But how was it as an import coming now like you knew you want to go to Sønderjyske, you signed Sønderjyske, and you should come there. How was it as an import through the summer doing stuff? Because when I was here, I was living in this town, and I always had like the same 2 or 3 guys we were working out every summer together.
For me, that year was different. I had always just trained on my own, done my own thing because all my buddies had then joined the real world, and I was living in my small town where there was no other pro guys working out in the morning. So I would just work out on my own and do my own thing and get myself prepared. And then after the 6 years in Germany, no, it was the year before when I was going to the other, I had some weight to lose because I'd had the hernia surgery and I had a bunch of weight to lose. So, because I hadn't been able to do anything for months. And then I got a real trainer and he got me like pretty skinny that year. And I liked that I was with all pro guys and I was working out with pro guys and they were pushing me harder and I was working out harder because I was around them. So then the next year when I was going to Sunderjyski, I went back to that guy again. And I was training with NHL guys, I was training with pro guys, and every morning at 10 a.m. we'd show up and we would do the thing. And then they also got me on the ice. They're like, we got ice time here and there. And I'm like, sure, yeah, I'll come.
Yeah.
And it's way easier doing it with a group than on your own.
Yeah.
Way easier to push yourself hard enough. How hard you actually have to push yourself to get there, you need other people there with you.
Yeah. Otherwise, you have to be made of something really good.
Yes. Yeah. Maybe I'm not that guy.
Me either. That's why I picked one of those guys. So every time I was taking him in the morning, should we skip it today and just push it an hour or two before we go? And he was like, no, I'm going now. And I knew, okay, I have to join, otherwise I'm not coming.
When I found Sunderjyski had the right culture that way. I wasn't sure if there was enough fun being had during the season, but there was a serious workout culture going on. Like the boys love pumping iron.
Yeah. And I never got it.
No, I didn't either. I still don't.
I still brought my bag of candy every time on the bus trips, and guys were like, fuck, we're going to a game, you're sitting there and eating candy, Frankie.
Happy hockey players play better. If you want candy, eat candy.
I need my sugar if I have to skate in third.
Oh God, you're right though. So did you have any pregame rituals as a player other than eating candy? Probably needed a nap.
Yeah, nap. But
do you get to nap in the real world?
No,
it's over, eh? Isn't it weird when I talk to players now that still play it, I'm like, you better enjoy every nap you have.
Yeah,
because they end.
You really do, because I can't remember last time I got a nap. Also because now you have a kid, and when she's napping, there's no time for napping, because then you have to do stuff
that you couldn't get done while she was awake.
No, and when you wake up again, so we have 2 hours. Let's go.
Game time.
So no nap, but yeah, good thing about my job is I can work from home. I can, depends on meetings, I structure my own day. So I was home early today, but I was tired. But
sounds like you got a good gig though. I also can work from home, and that's what makes this possible when you guys are overseas and I get a lunch hour and I'm on salary and I work, all the time. Is my job's all the time. So it's like, well, can I chat with a friend during lunch and then get back to work? And nobody has a problem with it, and I really appreciate it. So then when it's same as a hockey player, it's like when they have your back, it's like, so how high do you want me to jump? I'm like, I'll jump as high as you want.
Exactly.
If you'll let me be myself and have fun too.
Yeah, exactly. That's how it is.
Yeah. It's fun when people take care of you. Then you're like, okay, so what do you want me to do? But that season, I'm pretty sure you turned 25 the year I played with you, and you got in the shower and everybody threw cinnamon on you. I was very confused that day.
Yeah, why?
Because that's not normal.
It's part of fun Denmark.
So that's all over Denmark that you guys, is it like, if you're not on a hockey team and you turn 25 and aren't married, are people actually throwing cinnamon on you?
Yeah. I don't
Yeah.
know if I think now, because now I have buddies around, so like people that lives in south of Jutland where we're from or where you played, they're moving when they got like have to study more and everything. They're moving to Copenhagen or Aarhus, everywhere. So you see videos of that everywhere, but some people are still confused, like what's going on, even Danish people. But I think it's such a big tradition now that everybody in Denmark does it and know it.
Really?
Maybe
So
yeah.
what happened when you turned 30? Did you get the pepper?
Yeah, you get the pepper.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is there anything after 30?
No, we're trying to making up something. Also, every time they come imports or everything, you try.
I just don't. I don't understand. I don't understand why you guys are pressuring men to get married.
We're not pressing it, but
you are pressuring them. It's like, so I got to get married to not get cinnamon on me.
Yeah, but then we figure out, okay, you married.
What if they're not ready, Steffen?
Yeah, then we take the cinnamon. Then you're gone. It's fine. Just take it. Take those kilos of cinnamon. Like I remember Fossey, he was like working summertime in at the golf course. So the restaurant owner out there, Kim Cock, he brought him like kilo bags of cinnamon. So when we came to practice and he opened his trunk, I was just like, holy. There's a lot of cinnamon there. And I knew I was the only guy turning 25, so.
Right.
Yeah.
I found it interesting. Everybody's got their own traditions, you know?
Yeah, it's fun.
Hadn't seen that one.
It's so fun.
Oh, man. Yeah, it was different.
But how old were you when you came?
29-ish.
Oh, you were in the 20s. I
thought
you were
I'd been there.
30s.
I never got cinnamon, pepper, nothing.
You're lucky.
Anywho, what else do I got? So you guys won the Continental Cup, eh? So who did you guys beat to win that, and where was it?
We hosted it again, hometown.
The finals?
Yes, they hosted the finals again.
Oh, and you did good.
Yeah, we just seriously, I think was it 4 weeks before the COVID came in. So right there in mid-January, end of January, nobody really knew. Okay, you heard a little bit in Austria about COVID, something. What is it? And then after the Continental Cup, it went. Really, and they shut down the whole season before playoffs.
Thank goodness you guys got to have that memory.
Yeah. But again, you're sitting, because we were struggling until Christmas, kind of. And then you have this in end of January, and you're winning, and you just figure out the last 3 weeks up to this team is something special. And the other teams in the league start maybe fretting, playing Sønderjyske. Yeah. And you just figure out, okay, now the season's gone, and everybody can sitting afterwards on Facebook. Yeah, they wouldn't have won anyways. And I had the same feeling when I played in Aalborg. So if we guys met you in the finals, we would have beat you anyways.
But there's no way to know until you actually play.
No, but our feelings was this team could have done something special in the playoffs too.
Right.
But we beat, who was it? Nottingham, a Polish team, and
Polish team probably was Krakow.
I think so, Krakow.
Mm-hmm.
Krakow.
See, I know the hockey world because Carl Hudson won the Polish championship there when I played with him in Cardiff. And yeah, anywho, I found it a weird timing too. You have that and you win the Continental Cup, and if that doesn't happen before it gets shut down, things could be different. And right before it all went down, it was November of that season, the Cardiff Devils had me back for a Wally night. They flew me back and had a whole night for me, and gave me the VIP room for whoever I wanted to have in there, and free food and drink. And
thanks for the invite.
Well, I gave the pregame speech for the boys, and it was pretty electric. But like that night and that weekend of being the hockey guy again and seeing all my old friends and meeting new ones and the people that brought me back, it made me realize I missed that guy. And then I came up with this idea and doing this.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, if things would have got shut down before that happened, then that never happened.
No,
And then maybe everything's totally different now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Weird.
it's crazy.
It is crazy.
Sometimes, yeah. But it's tough to get into because then we can talk about everything about this life and
it was a weird time. We may as well move on.
yeah. Let's move on.
Yeah, because things are back to normal, and people are playing hockey again, and there's fans in the arenas, and now I do this, and it made me think of doing this was them having me back, which was pretty neat, you know?
Yeah.
What is your best hockey memory?
I have so many.
I know. You got to say the best one.
Yeah, the best one. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough.
It is
because
tough.
Picking one you can't, because then you pick one and then out of that one you figure out, oh, but I also had this one and this one and this one.
Yeah.
But I would say, of course, playing for your national team is big, and scoring your first goal there.
Yeah.
But in the end, you're playing the most of your games for your team, and I played my most seasons for my hometown, and
that's pretty cool.
It's pretty cool. Winning is pretty cool, and I was so lucky I got 5 of them with my hometown city. So I would say all 5, but I can't. But then I would say one of those where was affected, like where I wasn't the young guy sitting on the bench and eating up the wood.
You were a part of it.
I was a part of it. And then you can say, was it the year we won in Frederikshavn in Game 7, 1-0 in overtime? That was crazy.
That is crazy. 1-0 in overtime in Game 7?
Yeah, in Frederikshavn. They had filled up the arena for ready to party. And our goalie, Alfie, who was the goalie that year? You were there too.
Yeah, which year was that? Was that the year before I got there? Was Simeone?
Yeah, that was 12-13, I think.
So that would have been right before I got there.
Yeah, and he had an unbelievable save, like I think 3 or 4 minutes before we scored in overtime, the winning goal.
Oh, Alfie was a gamer. That guy. Oh my God.
He was
like he's intense.
Yeah, that was but you allowed him to. Like I remember I was sitting so close to him in the bus, I actually think we were sitting beside each other. So when he said he's going down with all that stuff here going on with spitting and listening to certain stuff and telling me you have to make sure you wake me up exactly in 2 hours from now. And one day I was like 2 hours and 2 minutes, and he was like so pissed at me because I was 2 minutes late. Like,
why is that your job to wake him up?
It was. We were the young guys. Like he kept saying that. You guys are the young guys. But you figured out through the years because he did so well, whatever it takes.
Yeah.
If this guy's happy and he's on his game, we can do fuck all out. We can do fuck all out there.
I looked at his stats from the year we won when I was checking out the playoff stats. He had a 1.6 goals against and like a 9.24 save percentage in the playoffs. And that's playing against the best teams.
Yeah, it's crazy. I still think actually he has the record in Denmark for most shutouts in a row.
Oh, was Matt Kruth trying to beat his record?
Yeah. I think it was close to, or
did you hear about that? Like, did you know that me talking to Mac was what started the Twix getting thrown on the ice in Herning?
No. Yeah, but was it you and him that was talking?
Yeah.
I was like, what's going on?
He played in Cardiff, and we got it going there when he came on the podcast, and then he switched to Herning, and I was like, well, can we get this going there? And I had him on the podcast. And then he went on a heater, was going for his 5th shutout in a row. And they went to Germany because of the sugar tax or whatever. And they bought box loads of Twix. And they threw 1,004 Twix on the ice. And that was from us talking. And then they even had his agent in for like a fan interview with all these fans asking questions. And he was like, Jesus, what have you done? And I was like, I don't know. It's just talking.
Well, please ask me about it. Ask me a question what I would like to then.
What chocolate bars do you like, Frankie, if you ever make it back to the Sunderjyski barn?
The Bounty.
Bounty?
Yeah.
What's that?
Chocolates and coconut in it.
Oh, coconuts?
Yeah, kind of. So, yeah.
Coconuts are for the birds.
Yeah, but when I was eating you can buy a package where there's 3 sizes of this long in it. When
Little
I was
ones.
eating that, every 7th game, I had a hat trick.
Really?
We thought that because when I did once, it happened, and then we thought it would be like that every time, but it didn't.
I understand. Yeah, when you have a good game, you did something, you usually go back to it.
What did I do here?
That must have been the difference.
3 chocolate bars before the game, a soda. Okay, I'm gonna do that again.
But yeah,
that's what you figure out when you're getting older too. Like I had so much when I was young to do through the days, and sometimes the bus was stuck in traffic, we came late, and you couldn't.
You couldn't do all the things you were supposed to do that day.
So as older I got, I was like more showing up, getting my coffee, getting a second coffee, sitting, start warming up 20 minutes or something before ice, because there was no need to do certain stuff.
And it doesn't actually change that much. I used to have a lot of things until, well, I guess the year I went to Cardiff, when I left Sunderjyski, and I was like, okay, so like hockey's coming to an end if I had a year like that, and I'm not wanted back, and now I'm not getting offers. When Cardiff offered me the MBA to become smart, I was like, okay, I'm doing that. And then when you would have school all day and doing your masters, and you would miss a practice or 2 a week, but you were doing your school, and that was a focus for me and hockey. But then there'd be times I'd be showing up to the rink where I'm like, I'm so tired, I'm not sure if I'm going to puke or shit myself. And then you're like, but I can still go out and play hockey just like I always could. And I'm like, so none of this shit actually matters.
No, exactly. It doesn't.
It doesn't. And you're like, so I'm just going to be here and play. And then we'll be
Except
fine.
You're getting crazier about doing all that stuff.
And people can get crazy, man. I saw a guy putting his stick by the toilet in between periods. And I'm like, what's that about? He goes, gets me the garbage goals. And I'm like, okay. You go with it, bud.
Yeah. I played with the guy 1 year. Like, we heard stories before he came, but stories are stories. But then one game we were sitting, and he was like, he hadn't played so good the last couple of games, and we knew, okay, now he started changing all that normal stuff he's doing. Like now the weird stuff are coming, and he was asking for ice bag, and then he took it and sat with it on his nuts. And just sat there the whole period with a towel over his head and icing his balls.
In between periods?
Yes. Because they should do something, whatever, with him. And certainly he went out
and hit a goal or
2, or like...
Bag of ice on your balls probably wouldn't feel that good. You want to keep those to the groins, keep them to the side, not really get them right on the testicle.
Yeah, but he did.
Okay.
Yeah. It was testicle icing.
Man, yeah. Isn't it interesting, all the different people you meet playing hockey? And what's neat for me is, like, I had to go to Denmark to meet all you guys. You were just in your hometown, and then they would have been bringing in 5 or 6 strange folks
and it was perfect. It was perfect every year. That's why I didn't get a contract. They asked all the Danish guys every time they came in for, do you want us to resign, or you need new guys? New guys.
We want to meet some new people.
Yeah. New people.
Oh, so it was your fault that they didn't want me back. Yeah. Okay, I get it.
Yeah.
Whatever. Sorry. I thought you made Team Denmark and we were great line mates. Whatever.
Just need 7 new imports to make fun of.
It is, yeah, and then give them new nicknames.
Exactly. Nicknames, it's like giving them the cinnamon and the pepper. And...
It's like when I coach under 13 boys. I come up with their new nicknames, and then I see these kids are playing Fortnite with their nicknames, and like they're going by their nicknames, and I'm like, oh, I gave you that.
Yeah. We had I played with Cam Brown. He came.
He's been on. I know him.
Oh yeah, you know him?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so when we played, he came. I can't remember. Was it 21 or 20 or something?
He's marrying a Danish girl.
Yeah, he is. And then I was like, because he came, and his nickname when he came, our coach told him like Browner or something. I was like, we can this time of.
It's got to be something different than what he's been called his whole life.
Yeah, we can call him Browner. Like, we can call people certain stuff about whatever. So I said, we can't do that. And I just figured out, like, I don't know why I said it, but I was just like, "You're a cookie." Cookie. And now his nickname is Cookie. Like even now, he's still playing.
And he's still
when
Cookie.
Journalists are writing about him, whatever, it's like Cam Cookie Brown. I'm like, did I really made up a nickname where people are just calling him Cookie and not even his teammates anymore? It's everybody calling him Cookie. And he was used to for 10 years calling Browner or Cam.
He's always been Brownie or Browner for sure.
Now he was a Cookie.
And it's stuck.
It's stuck with him now.
It's fun when the nicknames stick.
Yeah. Perfect.
Steiner didn't stick, Frankie.
Hopefully now it will.
That means stone? A man of stone?
Yeah, just type in on Google Translate. S-T-E-N.
Okay.
Yeah.
S-T-E-N. That's it?
Yeah.
Okay. Danish was a hard...
Then you write it. Then you go in a shop now before you go to practice with your Danish hockey shirt, and you have Steen on your back, 19.
I found the Danish language very hard to understand or try to, because I had just learned German and it had taken me years, and then I got to know German and I felt like that was where I was going to be. And then you get to know it and it makes life easier. And then you move to Denmark and you're like, I have no idea what anybody's saying about anything.
No, it's a crazy language.
Yeah. And then that it was weird because then you have, what was that town just across the border where you get groceries?
Flensborg.
Yeah, then it would be German again. I'm like, okay, so I know what to do again.
Yeah. Finally, I'm home.
Yeah. Okay, random question because I'm an aspiring coach, and well, I've had other guys that listen, that are hockey guys that are coaching, that want me to ask this question to hockey guys that come on. What was your favorite drill in practice?
I made my own drill.
You had your own drill?
Yeah. Simeone, he called it Frank. We're doing Frankie 2-0.
2-on-0 drill?
Yeah.
That would be you, eh?
Yeah. That's me. Fucking up the goalies.
Okay, backdoor tap-ins or what?
Backdoor tap-ins.
Okay, what's your 2-on-0 drill?
Corner and dot lane, kind of.
Yeah.
And then you do the same in the opposite end. So the two guys are passing like back and forth 3 or 4 times.
All the way up the ice?
No, only to the blue line.
Okay.
The inside guy on the dot line, he's turning into the middle. Inside. So he's staying in the same side. The other guy on the wall keeps the puck and he cuts to the middle a little bit. The same guys are doing it the same in the other end. So the guy that cuts to the middle has a puck. He's soft-handed in the walls, so we could practice on soft hands, laying it for each other, going against the D, kind of. So the guy that coming from the dot, cutting in, picking up the puck, shooting far pad for rebound. Guy coming into the middle.
I think I did that drill.
No, I probably did.
I think you guys probably did it before I was there, and then Seaman would have called it the Frankie 2-on-0.
Seaman didn't call it Frankie 2-0 because he was pissed that it was called by me.
But he still did it. I remember doing that.
He did it.
He did it.
Yeah,
he bought it.
Yeah, he bought it. I got another year contract there.
Yeah, Seaman's had a good coaching career too, though. I mean, he just won in Slovakia. I mean, as a coach, you show you win in Denmark, you show you win in Slovakia, like you're a winner.
Yeah, and then he went to Austria, right? I think he was struggling that year too. He was like back and forth for some teams that Vilak and White
yeah,
Wings.
well, I think you can get into some bad situations in European hockey when it comes to owners or well, GMs too, as a coach. And I always find it interesting in Europe when the November break comes, how many coaches get fired around the hockey world.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's crazy.
But it seems like Slovakia is just him now, and he got his name in Slovakia. I haven't talked to him, whatever, but seeing from outside is just like he can do whatever. He can do what he wants to do.
Right.
Even when his teams are struggling a little bit, I'm following because Dan. So I'm going, let's say every Sunday, seeing Slovakian league. I will go see how Kosici have done.
And that's hockey. That's winning together. And that's
Yeah,
being friends. I have too much hockey to pay attention to now, but I'm always curious how he's doing because I really liked him. And
yeah.
he was the guy that after they didn't want me back, and I don't know how much of it was his say or not, but when they didn't want me back, he called me that summer and was like, I haven't got a call. I haven't got anything about you. Nobody's asked me about you. Like, what's going on, Wally? And I'm like, well, my agent doesn't come up with anything for me. I'm like, so I've just started doing this stuff on my own. And I've sent out a message to the UK League to a bunch of teams. And I'm like, I got these teams interested in me. And he
Mm.
had played there. And he was like, well, you shouldn't go here. You shouldn't go there. You should go here. And then we talked about Cardiff, and he was like, oh, with the guy taking it over and what's going on there, that would be a great setup. And if they get the NBA in 1 year, he's like, the guy that's taking that over. And I was like, okay, like you sold
Mm.
me. And
Yeah,
then I get to play for this guy that was taking over the team. And I'm like, oh, so Dan knew exactly what he was talking about.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's nice.
It is nice.
Yeah,
And yeah, it was good playing for him. But then, you have bad feelings when they don't want you back and you thought you did good.
that's how it is.
Yeah.
Again, it's bored, and you
We
never
get a
really.
bit we get a bit proud as hockey guys, right? Too, right? And then like when you're not wanted back and you're like, so
What did I did wrong? We won, and I was top scorer. Like what?
yeah, like
Yeah,
so like what did you want from me? And then like
yeah,
it can make you feel bad.
yeah. But problem in Denmark is not because I'm so much into it, but in Denmark you have that budget. You can only spend this amount of money, and if you re-sign imports, it's something with taxes. It gets more expensive for the teams, and like
I found that they had a system down that they thought worked in Senior Yuski. And that was only signing about 5 imports to start the year.
mm,
And then come Christmas, you bring in your Finnish or Swedish or
mm,
whatever guy that's not too expensive to fly all
yeah,
the way overseas.
yeah,
And then they bring them over to help fill out the roster. But they played that first half of the season with that many imports because they
mm,
wanted to bring up the puppies and give them more ice time.
yeah,
But then when it actually comes time, those puppies don't get to play as much.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they had a system down.
Yeah,
And they picked Aslan over me. The ass man.
yeah.
Yeah. What are you gonna do? He's a nice
Can't
guy.
do anything.
No, just move on. Go to Cardiff.
Yeah.
But the cool thing for me after my hockey career is seeing like what the young guys did I played with. In Germany, I think there's going to be about 8 or 9 of them with their jerseys retired that I played with. And I think that's really cool to have been a part of their career and then know their jerseys are getting retired. But then like playing with you in Denmark and seeing you make Team Denmark for the first time and then play for the next 6 years for them and then win all these gold helmets. And I'm like, hey, I know that guy.
Know him too.
I think it's neat though. I don't know if Sooner Yuski retires jerseys, but you'd think you'd be in the mix, wouldn't you?
They don't.
They don't.
No,
No, they don't
they
have
don't.
Wally nights either. Thank goodness I went to Cardiff.
Yeah. They have local heroes nights. They don't have to fly me and buy my own gas money to go to the rink and get celebrated for an hour.
Now you just got to grab a hot dog on the way there, eh?
Yeah.
I talked to Eski about the hot dogs in Denmark. They always confused me.
Why?
They're different than here.
But they're so
Like,
good.
well, they are good, but like the one that you jam in, like you
Yeah.
jam it in, that's
Yeah.
different, man. I've never seen that before.
But that's a French hot dog.
That means French.
No. I don't know why it calls French hot.
What wasn't it like a remoulade sauce in it though?
Oh,
It's
the
not even
remoulade.
ketchup mustard. It's like something different.
Remoulade. That's good. The yellow stuff there.
Yeah, see, like I had never done that before. I didn't even know what it was. And
I think
then
it's only in Denmark they almost have it only.
it's different,
But it's good with fries. Really good fries. Remoulade.
Yeah. No, like it's weird, right? Because like I enjoyed my time in Voyance. I'm a small town boy. I like small towns. And then when you're in Voyance, like you get to know everybody. You know the people, and
Yeah.
like it's like a small town. But then it's like weird because then you go play a game at home, and you're like, so this is like a tiny little NHL arena, and they pack it with like
Yeah.
thousands of fans. I'm like, well, where did they come from? I don't understand.
all over.
Yeah, and they're into it.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
cool.
they are. It's crazy. They
Well, and
are.
for how small that town is, that I can play with you on NHL 23 or whatever it was, and I can still play with Sunderjyski now. In that tiny little town in Denmark, that they're doing those things is pretty neat.
Yeah, it is. Hats off.
Hats off. Way to go, guys from Foyance.
Yeah.
It wasn't the imports. It was you.
No.
No, God, those guys
It was
suck.
the local heroes.
Yeah. But it's true. It was the same when I played junior in Elmira in my hometown. Our core, our 8 to 10 guys were from Elmira. And then you sprinkle in the other guys and you're like, okay, now we have a team. But it was the same in Germany. You go to Landshut and you have all the Landshut guys. And you're like, so now we just sprinkle in some imports and some guys from the Czech and wherever. And you're like, now we got a team.
Yeah. But you can't do without those imports. Like if we only had a local guys team, you wouldn't have won anything. Like you still need the imports to get that, because you need the imports that are good players or Danish from other cities, whatever. But you need the locals to help out. Like this is how we do it here. This is how people react. Whatever. But
well, you guys help build the culture and also show people how to do things. Like you showed me about Hute and what to do.
Exactly.
You knew what to do.
And that's a good start of a season.
It is a good start to a season.
Because from there, down.
So folks that don't know, is Hute is well, it's like
city party.
It's a town party.
Town party. 3-4 days town party.
Town party. And big tents, whatever going on, music playing. And
roller coasters for the kids.
It's Denmark's version of like Oktoberfest, but like not Oktoberfest in Munich, but like every little town.
Yeah.
In Bietigheim, we had the Feder Market, and it had a beer tent. It had all the rides and the food. And then I went to Denmark, and I'm like, wow, so you guys like do it kind of the same as Germany.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. It was, but it brings the team together when you get all the boys out on the town.
Yeah, and I remember one year that was with Mario as a coach too. We lost a exhibition game, and he was like, "Those guys are not getting off." And Søren Stockfish, the GM, he was like,
"Yes, they are.
They having days off because this is set every year. It's hurting. Like even when we played the Champions League, like they were thinking about us playing a game. I can't remember, was it Thursday, Saturday, or Friday, Sunday you played. But they moved, like they told them, we're playing Thursday, Saturday, because the guys have to go out Saturday night for the Hütte party with the town. So they play Saturday, but it's an early game, so they can go out day or Sunday. Wow. That's the only thing that was locked in Sønderjyske. That was the Hütte Sunday. It was always a day off.
People may think I'm crazy, you know, maybe I don't get it, but doing that, being part of the town, being part of the tradition, it's preseason.
It is.
When are you winning a championship in preseason? Do you not want your hockey players to be happy and feel like part of the community and feel like part of the team? And maybe you should go. And you know what? If you lost a preseason game, maybe the boys will realize losing sucks, and then they'll win the next game when it's a real game.
Exactly.
But what do I know? You know.
But you know it. I can hear it. Same page, me and you.
But it's true though. Like if I go to Sunderjyski and Voyance and I don't get to participate in Hute, then I don't remember that.
No.
And I wasn't a part of it. I've met so many people at that place.
Yeah, and we wouldn't have won it anyways either.
You wouldn't win if you don't go to Hute.
No, that's why we have.
How could you? That's why you have a wall of helmets, is because you were at Hute.
I sold it 10 hours.
Okay. I actually haven't looked at my notes like the whole time, and that's what I think is so cool about this. I'll like jot down a few things we could talk about, but like then you get in the pocket with a guy that you won a championship with, and it was only for 8 months, but man, what a year it was. And like how happy I was after we won that. Well, the way Germany ended after winning there and stuff, and then you don't get a contract and you're going to Denmark, and then the way the season went, I was like, okay, like that was fun. Hockey's fun again. I
Yeah,
enjoyed that. And it's only 8 months of your life, but man, they're memories for life, you know?
exactly. It's crazy.
And it's winning, right? Like winning that game 7 it changes things. If we lose that game, we're probably still pissed off.
Yeah, but again, you say it like 8 months, but we more together than we are with our families for those 8 months.
With a hockey
And
family.
you have the same goal you're going for. Like it's crazy how
It's crazy how all the girlfriends, the wives, the kids, everybody becomes like
yeah,
tight. And then at the end of the year, you just go your own way.
yeah. But then 15 years later, you can talk still.
Right. And that's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's nice to like, it's cool checking out your career and how much you won and how much like getting to play for Team Denmark and but mainly doing it in your hometown. There's not many pro hockey players in the world that get to play so long in their hometown, make a career out of it, but then also have a wall of gold helmets. That's weird.
That's weird, but every time I'm coming down in the basement, I'm like always looking at it, and I'm like, it's just memories in that gold helmet.
Oh yeah.
And then you're going again. But if you need something, you're sitting down here. If I go down here just to be on my own, you can sit there and just watch, and you have those pictures, those stories. Like now we're sitting and talking, but it's just so many memories like stick to that little fucking helmet.
It's very true. Very true. It's like I only have one helmet. I only swung into Denmark for a season and got to win with you guys, and I do have my helmet, and it's like, well, got that forever. And
Yeah,
the memories of doing it the night after, the day after, like it's something.
yeah, it is something. And I wish every guy could try it, because when we had guys coming in the year after, how is it to win? How is it? Oh, then you still have to be cool and say it's fun, but we can say it's just easy or fun. Like you have
No,
to like.
you have to
That's the
go
tough
do
thing
it.
about it too, because when people come in, oh, you had so many gold helmets. Like, how is it to win? And you never lost a final. And certainly, I'm losing 3 finals. And I'm like, okay, I could have it. I could have had 8 now instead. But
Right.
you're losing when it just little things. But you
It,
can't sit and talk about it in August, September, October, or November. You just have to
no,
do
you
what you
gotta
have to
you
do,
gotta
and then
go
you
you gotta go through the season.
yeah, and figure out who's connecting, because in the end it depends on again going to hit it, have fun through season, like get it out of hockey when it's
It's
boring
gotta
or
be. It's
tough.
gotta. It's like you're talking about canceling Hute and not guys not going out. It's like to me, hockey's so much more than just playing the game or the
It is.
practice.
Yeah,
Like it's the cinnamon, it's the
yeah,
Hute, it's actually getting to know people that you actually connect. Because
yeah.
if you're not like if you're just teammates and you haven't connected, and I had it in Germany where there's imports that came from different backgrounds than me, different interests, and like you don't truly connect, and it shows on the ice.
It does.
When you come down to the playoffs, when it comes down to doing what it takes to actually win, it matters how connected you are.
I think you didn't sit in January or February looking at the schedule. Okay, I can book my flight March 20 to go home, having a long summer, see my family.
No,
That's the problem. But you have seasons where imports or Danish guys coming from other places, or even local guys sitting, oh, I wish we'd done in a month. I don't like. I can't have this for 2 more months.
but it's very true. And I think that comes from the culture, the coaching, the organization. But I saw it in Germany. I saw it even in the East Coast. We were down 3-1 in the quarterfinals, and one of my buddies had his car packed. He was ready to leave. And then we won 3 straight. We go to the semis, we win that, we go to the finals, and I'm like, your car's been packed for weeks, buddy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. It's crazy how different it can be. And
Yeah.
if you don't go far in the playoffs, if you don't do what it takes for each other, you don't have the same memories. It's like the years
No,
you lose, the years I lost in Germany, I don't talk to those guys that much.
no, it's just how it is.
Yeah, because you didn't do what it took for each other.
No.
Yeah, that's what it's about.
Yeah, and it's so special because when GMs are coaching or players that have tried it sitting in August for the first meeting with the whole team, and this is how we have to do it, and this is important, and if we have to win, we have to do this and this. It's not that simple, but it is kind of simple. The next 2 months, the most important is not winning games. The most important is you guys
becoming a team.
Fit.
Yes.
Have each other's back and whatever it takes. And yes, we are 25 different guys, so some of them you're not talking that much with, but I still want you when you hit April, you're still jumping in front of that shot so he don't get it.
Well, it's true. And like when I went there, like I was older than a lot of the puppies, a lot of you guys, but like I didn't get to hang out with you guys that much because I had a young kid. But like when we did go out, we had fun. And we were all in it together. And Dan was a great coach, and he had a great culture of everybody's in this together. And I take part of him. When I coach now under 13, I try to take all the coaches I had and take what I want from them.
Yeah.
But like one thing is like you have your buddies back on and off the ice. It's like it's at school, it's at hockey, it's everywhere. Like it's not just when you're out playing the game. Like you guys are connected, you know?
Yeah.
And that's
it's so important.
And that's like I have Esky on and he's still playing and mucking it up. And then we get chatting about you and he's like, well, I can reconnect you with him. And he sends me your stuff. And I was like, okay. And then a couple days later, I'm talking to you and it's been 11 years.
Yeah, it's crazy.
God, that's hockey, eh?
Yeah, it's hockey.
It sure is.
So to all the kids, enjoy it.
Well, like if you're playing hockey, you should have fun and enjoy it, you know? And there are coaches out there that can make it not fun. And I really don't understand that.
No.
Because it should be. And you should, I tell my kids, I'm like, trying harder than the other team is fun. Blocking more shots than the other team is fun. Doing what it takes is fun. If you go out there and don't do that, hockey really ain't that much fun.
Exactly.
Because then they beat you.
Yeah.
And that's not fun.
No.
So I mean, like they say winning and losing isn't everything, but you go to the final and lose, you gave her everything you had. You guys have each other's backs and the relationships are different. You get put out first round because you guys didn't give her tits. Then everybody's like, well, guess that season's over.
Yeah. Summertime.
Yeah. But it was sure fun winning with you guys, man. And it's
was
weird.
A hell of a year.
Yeah, when like you have your 8 months and then like you play together and you get connected. And then it's like I have my bad taste in my mouth when I leave. And then I'm like, okay, whatever, done with it all, moving on. But then getting able to reconnect with brothers years later, like this is hockey.
Yeah, it's hockey. It's so nice.
And man, the season you had that year with me and Quirky, like Quirky was a player, but like you were around the net, you were all around the net, and that's why you were scoring, and you were the big body around the net, and then we could do our things in the corner, and man, you scored all the time, and it was cool to see. And then to see you make Team Denmark, it's like as your line mate, I'm like, well, I'm proud as hell because I'm never making Team Canada, but at least I got this. Right?
Yeah, that's true. But again, that's like a memory. Now we talk. My memories are also like you just saying it. Like, would I have joined the national team if I didn't play with you and Quirk? I never know. But it was also because of you guys. But at the same time, because of my 20 other teammates, because they also made me do this. But now it was you two I played with the first half of the season that made me do that or get the stats so the national coach looked to me and whatever.
Well, it wasn't 1 year. You played 6 straight years. So
I just need
it wasn't just me because I was only there for 8 months.
You started the train and you can't stop it. You can't stop a train that fast.
No, but like it was really neat though. And then like I remember Spelling was still living in Voyance in the same apartments as me, and he had just been to Team Denmark. And I went over to like say hi or whatever, and he was like, "Well, do you want this shirt?" And I was like, "Yeah."
Oh yeah.
Of course I do. You think I have a Team Denmark shirt? Of course I do. But I think it's so neat because then I went from there to Cardiff, and then I went back for a night for a teammates game, and one of the captains of Team Great Britain is my old teammate, and I'm over there and he goes, "Wally, you want some of this Team Great Britain swag?" He's like, "I've been on the team for 17 years. I don't need it." And I was like, yep. So now I got Team Denmark shirts, I got Team Great Britain shirts, I got all the stuff. I got pants to coach here in Kincardine with my Team Great Britain pants. And I'm like, what my teammates went out and did is really, really cool. And now when I'm coaching kids, I'm like, well, I want you kids to go out there and do cool shit too, you know?
Yeah. Make sure you get buddies with the good guys.
Yes. It's all about who you know in hockey.
Yeah, exactly. And now you're covered for the World Cups. You have Denmark, Great Britain, Germany shirts. You have all the shirts for the World Cups.
And honestly, though, like going to Denmark and winning with you and having the teammates I had and being fortunate enough to be in Sunderjyske with those guys is how I have this shirt and a gold helmet. And like, I think it's neat. And it wasn't about what I did. It was about what my teammates did. And then you see the retired jerseys and like stuff, and you're like, man, I know some cool people.
I was lucky.
Yeah, I played with some great dudes, and that's what it's about.
It is. It is. You have to appreciate that when you're in it, but sometimes people forget.
You do, and you're in the stress, and you're in, like, it's stressful. Pro hockey's stressful.
It is. Yeah. It's fun afterwards, but in the moment, it's stressful.
It's fun when you win.
Yeah, it is. You better just cheats Colby and then make sure he signs so Sunderjyske. I'll help with the contract.
Sounds good.
Then you have another 8 months here.
Yeah, no, and Fuzz is coaching the team now, or I guess he might be off now, but like he's a great guy, great person, and exactly who you'd want leading that team because they're in good hands over there, eh?
They are. They're struggling this season after a good season last year, but you know they will always come back.
Oh yeah. Yep.
So
well, you do need to send me your poster pictures. So I got a guy in Cardiff, Wales that makes posters for every episode. So whatever hockey pictures you have, or family, friends, people, whatever you want on your poster, send me 6 to 10 pictures, and then I'll have Lee Freeman in Cardiff, Wales whip up a poster for your episode. And it's pretty fun. He's done like 450 of them, so it's pretty neat, and he's a nice guy.
450.
I think you're episode 447, maybe.
Can you save me for the 460?
No, you're getting sent right after this, buddy. There's no time to waste. I got shit to do. I got to send the stuff.
I'm coaching.
Yeah, I got a like real job and stuff to do.
Yeah. Okay, I see.
Okay. Well, it has been great catching up, sir. And
you too, Wally.
Honestly, it's well, I don't like saying nice things to you, but you should be very proud of your career and all those gold helmets up there, because some people win and some people don't, and you seem to win more than most.
I'm happy for them all, and there's good memory to every one of them. You are one of them.
I was there for one of them. And this has been another episode of Two Ales and Hockey Tales with Frankie and Wally and Steiner.